The Oilers just lost again, and this time the reaction from Connor McDavid said everything.
And I think last night is the kind of accumulation of a lot of different things, and last night's a great warning to the group what happens when you're not ready to.
After blowing several leads and falling 7-4, the pressure on Edmonton has reached a new level. What McDavid said after the game has now become the center of attention. His words pointed straight at the issues that have been building for weeks, and the message hit hard. The Edmonton Oilers entered the game with hopes of stopping their slide. Instead, they were handed a 7-4 loss after giving up multiple two-goal leads. The defeat added to a worrying trend in their season. The team scored early but could not protect the lead. The breakdown happened again and again, and it brought more pressure to a roster already under strain. Connor McDavid finished the night with 2 assists. He recorded one of them on the power play, showing he was still creating chances at key moments. He has been on the score sheet in 9 of his last 10 games, with several multi-point nights. His production has stayed strong, but once again, his numbers did not translate into a win. The Oilers were outplayed down the stretch and could not stop Washington's scoring pushes. The team allowed the Capitals to score 7 times on a mix of rush chances, rebounds, and open looks near the net. The Oilers gave up 5 separate 2-goal leads in the game. Each lead slipped away quickly. This pattern showed the issues inside the defensive zone. Players were unable to cover lanes, clear rebounds, or close out plays when pressure increased. After the game, McDavid spoke about the team's situation. His words were direct. He said the team needed to be stronger in key moments and could not keep giving opponents easy chances. He pointed to breakdowns in the defensive zone and said they needed to tighten up their coverage. He explained that early leads were slipping because the team was not playing the right way once they were ahead. McDavid did not blame any single player. Instead, he talked about the group and how everyone needed to be sharper. He made it clear that the team had control of the game multiple times, but lost it by making mistakes in their own end. His tone showed the growing pressure that comes with every loss. The head coach said the same thing in his own comments. He talked about the need for more support from the depth players. The Oilers have often leaned heavily on McDavid and Leon Draisaitl to carry the load. In this game, the top line produced, but the rest of the lineup did not keep pace. The coach said the entire team must be involved in scoring and defending. The Oilers' defensive structure was tested throughout the game. Washington found open ice in the slot and along the boards. The Capitals used speed to enter the zone and created high-danger chances that led to goals. The Oilers could not track the puck well in their end. Missed assignments and slow reactions resulted in easy scoring opportunities for the opponent. McDavid explained that the team needed more urgency. He said the Oilers had to be better in protecting the puck and clearing the defensive zone. He also said there was no excuse for letting leads disappear. His comments matched what fans have been saying for weeks. Many fans believe the Oilers rely too much on their captain to fix every situation. When the team breaks down defensively, McDavid cannot solve it alone. This loss continued a pattern from earlier games. Edmonton has struggled to defend leads. The team often starts well and generates offense, but mistakes on the back end lead to goals against. Missed plays near the net and slow defensive movement allow opponents to stay close in games. These small errors then turn into major problems. Goaltending also faced pressure in this game. The Oilers allowed several goals from close range. The goalie had to face rebounds, screens, and cross-ice passes. The team's defensive lapses made it difficult to stop these chances. As the game went on, the pressure did not let up. Washington kept finding space, and the Oilers were unable to respond. McDavid's comments after the game highlighted this. He talked about execution. He said the team had chances to pull away, but mistakes allowed the game to slip out of reach. His words showed how aware he is of the team's position in the standings. Every loss now affects their playoff hopes and increases the pressure on the group. The coach also pointed to consistency. He said the team could not rely on a few players to carry every game. He explained that scoring chances were there, but the team needed to lock down defensively. The message was that the Oilers must play a complete game if they want to turn their season around. McDavid was clear that the team needs to improve fast. He said the Oilers cannot let games get away from them. He said the group must play with more discipline and stay focused through all 3 periods. He did not raise his voice or show anger, but his words carried weight. They signaled that the time for small fixes has passed. The loss to Washington made the situation more urgent. The Oilers had chances to take control but could not close out the game. The repeated breakdown showed that the problems are deeper than one night. They reflect patterns that have affected the team for several games. McDavid's comments confirmed that the players understand this. He said the team needs to trust their structure and stay committed to it throughout the game. He talked about playing with better habits and making smarter decisions. These remarks showed the kind of leadership expected from a captain who continues to produce even during tough stretches. The team now moves forward with the weight of this loss behind them. The next games will show whether McDavid's message has reached the locker room. The Oilers know that every point matters. They know that the problems must be fixed soon. They know the season can turn quickly, but only if they stop the mistakes that have cost them games like this one. McDavid's words after the loss were clear. The team must be better. They must protect their leads. They must defend as a unit. And they must respond now.
McDavid hits the line with speed. McLeod over to check. Thompson a steal. Fires and scores. 5-1 Buffalo, and that'll put it away. Tage Thompson, an empty netter.
Something cracked inside the Edmonton Oilers after their latest collapse, and the shift was visible before anyone walked out of the arena. The energy faded fast. The bench went tense, and then Connor McDavid stepped forward with words that cut straight into the team's deeper problems. His message hit harder than the score itself, and the reaction around the room hints at something that has not surfaced yet.
And I think last night is the kind of accumulation of a lot of different things, and last night's a great warning to the group what happens when you're not ready to roll.
The spotlight on the Edmonton Oilers grew stronger after their 5-1 loss in Buffalo. The team allowed 5 goals, including 2 from Noah Ostlund, who scored his 2nd and 3rd NHL goals. Buffalo's 4th line produced early pressure, and rookie Colton Ellis stopped 32 of 33 shots. These numbers showed how fast the game slipped away from Edmonton once Buffalo gained control. The Oilers were behind in high-danger chances by a wide margin. Buffalo led that count 14-5. Edmonton's forwards outside the top line created only 10 shots on goal. The defense produced 16 more, but the Sabres pushed back each time. The Oilers' only goal came from Jack Roslovic on a one-timer. The team could not find steady offense at 5-on-5, and this problem repeated throughout the night. Vasily Podkolzin explained the team's situation after the game. He said, "We'd better figure out how to win games as soon as possible, because we're not happy with what's going on right now." His second comment described the Sabres' performance. He said, "They played simple. They scored their goals. So there's not much to say." These statements match the team's struggles on the ice and the overall pace Buffalo used to control the game. Head coach Chris Knoblauch placed Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the same line during the game. Both players ranked near the top of the league in average ice time among forwards with more than 2 games played. Depth players were used. This showed how heavily the team relied on its top centers when dealing with pressure. Buffalo continued to control the pace through the second period. Bowen Byram scored the game-winning goal after steady pressure in the Edmonton zone. Sabres.com confirmed that Buffalo earned points in 8 of their last 9 home games, and their recent momentum carried through every shift. The Oilers could not match that speed. After Roslovic tied the game, Buffalo responded with 2 goals in 62 seconds. This sequence changed the entire entire direction of the night. Chris Knoblauch spoke about this stretch afterward. He said the team lost confidence or emotion after Buffalo's power play goal late in the first period. He explained that Buffalo played with that emotion, that speed, and were the better team in the second half of the game. The Oilers struggled to regain control, and their defensive structure broke down during long shifts in their own end. Knoblauch said he was not seeing a pattern, which showed that the team's issues did not follow one simple trend. They appeared in different ways each night. Edmonton entered the game with a 9-8-4 record. Their road record stood at 4-7-2. And they held only 4 regulation wins in their first 21 games. These numbers reflected the issues that continued to surface throughout the early portion of the season. The loss in Buffalo added to a long run of trouble for the team in that building. This pattern created another challenge before the puck even dropped. Connor McDavid's reaction gained attention because the team needed direction after another difficult night. His earlier comments, noted in recent coverage, referred to the Oilers being flat and needing more emotion. These remarks match the issues seen against the Sabres. The team struggled to keep pace, lost battles around the net, and gave up key plays in their defensive zone. His past statements connected directly to the team's current situation. As the night ended, the Oilers prepared for their next game in Washington. The team traveled with questions still surrounding their defense, scoring depth, and energy level. The facts from this loss shaped the pressure they faced heading into their next matchup.
And I think last night is the kind of accumulation of a lot of different things, and last night's a great warning to the group what happens when you're not ready to roll.
Connor McDavid drops a bombshell on Coach Knoblauch, and the shock in that room was instant. Reporters called it a truth bomb, and the room shifted fast, which set the tone for everything that came next. That message did
up and not playing very well. So there are a lot of not looking like a very cohesive team right now, just not playing very well, and that's on the coaching staff, mostly myself, to get that
came next. That message didn't appear out of nowhere. The Oilers had been stuck in a stretch where they went 4-4-2 in their last 10 games, and Knoblauch had already said, "We're not playing our best hockey." That quote came on November 2nd. It added weight to the new comments because it showed the coach had been pushing the team for weeks, and now his pressure had reached the captain. That built even more curiosity around how this moment would change their dynamic. Knoblauch also said something important after the November 5th shootout loss to Dallas. He stated, "Leon and Connor were 2 of our better players. We just need to get more out of everyone." That line made it clear he saw the top stars carrying too much of the load. When his new message on November 11th surfaced, people wondered if his patience with the whole team had run out, or if he was now turning that pressure tighter onto McDavid himself. This shift created more questions about how the captain would receive the target placed on him. The timing carried even more weight because McDavid had made a strong statement months earlier. After the Oilers lost the Stanley Cup final in June 2025, he said, "We kept expletive, trying the same thing over and over again, banging our heads against the wall." That quote showed he already had issues with how the team operated. So when Knoblauch fired his new message at him in November, it added a layer of tension that didn't feel new, raising curiosity about what was brewing inside the team long before this night. The Oilers have not won the Stanley Cup since 1990, and each season brings more pressure. When a coach and captain exchange sharp comments only months apart, the spotlight gets even brighter. With Knoblauch calling out the team and McDavid voicing his frustrations earlier in the year, this November moment felt like something bigger starting to crack open, leaving many wondering how far this tension would grow next. The reaction inside the team did not slow down after that night. Reporters said the coach's message toward McDavid was direct enough to make players look around the room. Some felt the comment pointed at leadership. Others felt it pointed at effort. But no matter how it was read, the message placed new weight on McDavid right after the win. That made people wonder what the next move inside the locker room would be. The next part of the story connected back to Knoblauch's earlier pressure on the roster when he said, "We're not playing our best hockey." It sounded like the coach wanted stronger direction from the top. This created a new curiosity. Was Knoblauch now expecting McDavid to carry more than his play, or was he pushing him because the team had stalled? McDavid's past comments from June 2025 also sat in the background of this moment. His words after the Stanley Cup final, "We kept expletive, trying the same thing over and over again," pointed to problems he saw in the system. So when Knoblauch fired his new message months later, it almost looked like both sides were responding to the same long-running issue. The Oilers' long Stanley Cup drought made the whole situation heavier. Every year the team gets closer or falls short. The demand for results grows. When both the captain and the coach deliver sharp comments within months of each other, it adds more stress to a group already squeezing for answers. That pressure creates more curiosity about how the Oilers will hold together as the season continues, and whether the tension between McDavid and Knoblauch will push the team forward or pull it apart next.
And I think last night is the kind of accumulation of a lot of different things, and last night's a great warning to the group what happens when you're not ready to roll.
Something just shook the Edmonton Oilers locker room. After a crushing 9-1 loss, Connor McDavid stood up and called out his own team. He didn't dodge, he didn't sugarcoat. He said the Oilers were flat, no energy, no emotion. Coming from the captain, that means something. What he said next set the tone for the rest of the season. The Edmonton Oilers are under pressure. They've played 16 games this season, and their record stands at 6 wins, 6 losses, and 4 overtime losses. That's not what fans or the team expected. And after getting blown out 9-1 by the Colorado Avalanche, something had to be said. Connor McDavid said it.
Early on, obviously, we found an issue to bring some of that emotion, some of that energy to the game. That's not fighting. That's not anything. It's just bringing that energy, skating, a little bit more physical.
In his post-game comments, McDavid told reporters, "It's been flat. That starts with me as a leader. There's maybe not been enough energy, not enough emotion, and we have to find a way to bring some of that into the game." This wasn't just about one game. McDavid spoke about the team's attitude over several games. He said, "We all have a hand in bringing just a little bit more, emotionally, physically, and just to our game as a whole." McDavid has 22 points this season, 5 goals, and 17 assists, but he's also -6 at even strength. That shows even the best players on the team are getting outscored when they're on the ice. The loss to Colorado was Edmonton's worst home defeat since 2009. The Avalanche scored goal after goal, and the Oilers didn't have an answer. The team was down 4-0 after the first period, and it only got worse from there. This wasn't just a bad night. It was a wake-up call. The Oilers were supposed to be Cup contenders again. They reached the Stanley Cup final 2 seasons in a row, but right now, their play doesn't match that level. Over the last 10 games, their record is 4 wins, 3 losses, and 3 overtime losses. That's not terrible, but it's not what a contending team expects. Now, with McDavid calling for more effort and emotion, the whole organization is on alert. The message is clear. Things have to change now. McDavid's message wasn't just frustration, it was a warning, and it wasn't only for the player, it reached the coaching staff and front office too. When a captain speaks like this after a blowout loss, it signals a bigger problem inside the team. Coach Chris Knoblauch now faces pressure to respond. Line changes, goalie decisions, and defensive structure are all under review. The Oilers can't afford to let this slide. Their next games are critical. McDavid said, "We have to find a way to bring more." That starts immediately. McDavid's call for emotion matters. Hockey isn't just about skill. It's about fight. The Oilers haven't shown enough of it. They've looked flat, not just in one game, but over several. That's why his comments hit so hard. This also affects the fan. The Oilers have one of the most passionate fan bases in the NHL. A 9-1 home loss sting. And when your best player says the team isn't bringing enough, fans expect action. Behind the scenes, the organization must decide how to fix this. Trades, call-ups, system changes, it's not clear yet. But McDavid just put everyone on notice. He didn't blame others. He included himself, but he didn't stay quiet. His leadership now demands results. not someday, but now. Edmonton's next games will say a lot. If they come out with speed, energy, and purpose, this could be the turning point. If not, bigger changes could follow. For now, one fact stands out. The Oilers captain just spoke louder than ever, and now the entire hockey world is watching how they answer.
Against our standards, and I thought we played with some pretty high standards today, and again, saying that, it doesn't guarantee a victory. It doesn't mean it's perfect, but I felt our intentions were there. We were organized in our 5-on-5 play, and it was a good game. I thought we stayed patient. It's unfortunate we don't get the 2 point, but a lot of positive.
Martin St. Louis made a shocking announcement to the Montreal Canadiens on November 8, 2025. The goaltending controversy exploded 24 hours earlier when Jakub Dobes cried after losing. His veteran Samuel Montembeault ranked second worst in the NHL statistically. St. Louis canceled practice immediately. He called Dobes into his office. The decision he revealed would alter everything. Dobes stopped 24 of 28 shots in the 4-3 overtime defeat. His record dropped to 6-0-1. The loss came when Jesper Bratt scored 93 seconds into overtime with a backhand shot through the 5-hole. Dobes took full responsibility for the team's first overtime loss of the season. "We played good enough to win, just not good enough from my side," Dobes told reporters after the game. "I don't know, just really hard. This is a tough one. Just sucks. It happened last year. It happened this year. Lose to those guys in OT. So just disappointed in myself. That's pretty much it." The emotional display shocked media members present. NHL.com reporter Mike Morial witnessed the scene firsthand. "Don't know if I've ever seen this before, but MTL rookie goalie Jakub Dobes, who entered this game 6-0-0, was literally in tears, blaming himself for the Canadiens' loss." Morial posted on social media, "We, the media, tried to console him, telling him to keep his head up. Kid is putting so much pressure on himself." Martin St. Louis addressed the situation during his press conference. "Everybody handles situations differently, and he took it hard," St. Louis said. "It's probably a big reason why he's at this level. He's probably demanding of himself. We'll talk to Dobes. He's played really well for us." Teammates rushed to defend their goaltender. Defenseman Noah Dobson spoke with reporters after the game. Dobson said, "But it just shows the character and passion in this room. Everyone holds themselves to a high standard and wants to do what they can to help the team win. But we know in the room he's been a backbone for us this year, so there's no need for him to do that and put it on himself." This situation placed St. Louis in a difficult position regarding his goaltending rotation. Samuel Montembeault, the presumed starting goaltender, has struggled severely this season. The 28-year-old carries a 2-3 record with a 3.82 goals against average and .842 save percentage through 5 games. St. Louis maintained confidence in his struggling veteran. "If you ask me if I'm worried, no, I'm not worried," St. Louis said. The coach continued defending Montembeault's abilities. "I didn't have a single idea in mind. We have 2 good goaltenders," St. Louis added. "Dobes is definitely having a good streak, but Monty is going to have streaks like that too. We're well equipped in front of the net." Dobes maintains elite statistics despite his first loss. He ranks 3rd in the NHL with a 2.25 goals against average. His .920 save percentage places him 4th among all goaltenders. The Czech netminder has started 6 of Montreal's last 8 games. Montembeault acknowledged his struggles publicly. "I know what I can do, and I've worked a lot the last 4 years to grow my game," Montembeault said. "Obviously not the best start so far, but we're going to keep working to get to where we were at." The goaltender revealed technical adjustments he's making.